The film starts with a voice in the background, telling that our world is very big and it is never going to end. And just like our land, a planet is coming from it, Solaris, where life was like humans. They had a very good world. They were living very comfortably. Although this time is not today, it was 65 million years ago, but still the people of Solaris were so advanced that they could easily go to any other planet, could travel anywhere. We see the main character of this story, Miles, who lived in Solaris with his wife and daughter. He came to the beach with his wife and daughter. Here we learn that his daughter Navine has a serious disease. Treatment for this disease is so expensive that Miles doesn't have much money, so Miles participates in a space mission to raise money for his daughter's treatment. In this mission he is a pilot and his assignment is to take several scientists to another planet. This mission will take about 2 years to complete. He was discussing all this with his wife. Even if Mills doesn't want to, he has to go on this mission because he has no other option. Navine tells his father he will wait for him. I believe he will come back safely. Next we see a spaceship. It's already been 2 years since the spaceship took off. Means Mills is very close to its destination. At that time, many small meteorites collided with his spaceship. The crash was far more dangerous as it caused his spaceship to wobble a lot, causing Miles to wake up. He then took the ship out of autopilot mode and started manual driving. All the other passengers of this ship was in cryogenic sleep. Several parts of the ship are damaged, so Mills takes the ship to a nearby planet for an emergency landing, but before reaching the planet the plane catches fire and crashes into a mountain. Moments later, when Mills regains consciousness, he finds his entire spaceship destroyed, with all the cryo chambers destroyed. He exits the spaceship to see if any passengers are alive. He sees no passengers, but he sees that this planet is suitable for humans. Clean water, clean air, fruits to eat, and perfect environment to live. But he doesn't know that many dangerous animals live here. This planet looks like the whole world, but this world is not the world we live in. This world is about 65 million years ago. No human civilization was created here. Many species of dinosaurs are present here. Mills arrives at the plane and checks again to see if any of them are alive, but he finds that none of the scientist group is alive. Simply put, only Mills survived. He then recorded the voice message and forwarded it to his space agency. The spaceship he came here with also had 2 escape pods, but who knows where they went when the ship crashed. Its hardness is slightly higher than that of a spaceship. So Mills decides that he will find those escape pods and try to return to his world with it. Trapped in this lonely forest, he feels frustrated. He is not getting any food or drinking water. He tries to commit suicide in this situation, but then he remembered his daughter. He sat there and started watching videos of her daughter. Just then an indication comes that someone is still alive in one of the sleeping chambers. He came out of the plane and started looking for the chamber. There was a 7-year-old girl in that chamber. Mills took him out of the chamber and into the plane. Then Mills asked her what her name was, where he came from and what her plan was. But Mills could not understand any of her words because the girl's language was completely different from Mills' language. One way for Mills to understand her language was to translate his language with a translator, but since his plane crash landed the translator was broken. Mills finds a book in the sleeping chamber and from there he learns that this girl's name is Koa. The next morning Mills took a good look at the place. He sees the skeleton of a huge animal there and realizes that this planet is much older than his planets. Here he also sees volcanic eruptions. Then he took out a high-tech gadget from his pocket. We can call this gadget Super GPS. Through this he finds that his escape pod has fallen about 15 kilometers away. He leans forward and tries to see the road. Just then a small dinosaur comes and attacks him. But he kills the dinosaur with a power electric gun. Back on the spaceship he tells Koa that our escape pod is on top of a mountain 15 kilometers away. He tells that we have to reach the escape pod by any means at the top of the mountain. But Koa says that she came here with his parents, and he will not go anywhere without her family. But Mills fails to convince her that her parents are no longer alive. He lies to her that his parents are waiting for her on the hill. After hearing this Koa leaves for that mountain with Mile. But the road is not as easy as they thought. 65 million years ago there were not only walking dinosaurs but also flying dinosaurs. They could attack them anytime. But they sneaked into the forest. Miles climbs a large tree and tries to find the escape pod with his super GPS, but unfortunately the branch he was standing on breaks and he falls down. Hearing the sound of tree branches breaking, some carnivorous dinosaurs come to eat them, but Mills continues to kill all the dinosaurs with the bombs he has. Koa runs away to save herself from the dinosaurs, but when she gets there and realizes that this is the place where all the flying dinosaurs come and sit, she goes to hide behind the tree to save herself from the flying dinosaurs, but by mistake a small noise is created. And hearing this sound, a dinosaur came there. The dinosaur bites his coat and drags her into the forest, but Mills arrives just in time to save the Koa. The condition of Koa was very bad, so Mills carried Koa on his back and headed up the mountain. As they walk, it becomes evening. It is not safe to stay in the forest, so they take shelter in a cave. Before going to sleep, Mills tries to use his super GPS to see how far the escape pods are from here, and whether they have any danger here. You'll be amazed at what Mills sees when he checks it out. A very big asteroid that killed all the dinosaurs on Earth 65 million years ago is going to crash into the Earth in the next 12 hours. Mills tells the news to Koa. The next morning they were about to leave the cave when a dinosaur attacked them. Both of them go deeper into the cave to save their lives. Since the cave tunnel was too small, Mills detonated bombs to enlarge the tunnel, making the tunnel a bit thicker. The Koa manages to get out of the tunnel, but Mills gets trapped in the tunnel and is attacked by dinosaurs. Mills kills it with his high-tech gun. Then he managed to get out of this cave with great difficulty. He checks the super GPS and he sees that asteroid is approaching the planet at high speed. They don't have much time and they have to leave the planet soon. But he couldn't find Koa anywhere. As he looks around for her, he hears Koa screaming. Actually, the Koa is being chased by a dinosaur. Mills hears the Koa's screams and runs towards her. But while running, he himself falls into a swamp. And he kept calling Koa loudly. Meanwhile, the Koa kills the dinosaur with a bomb. She then approaches Mills and pulls him out of the swamp with a tree branch. Mills comes out of the swamp and hugs Koa. They then arrive at the escape pod before dusk. The good news is that the escape pod is still undamaged. Mills quickly starts the engine. Koa then went out to look for his parents because Mills told her her parents were waiting for her on that hill. But she sees the destroyed cryochamber here and realizes that all the passengers, including her parents, are dead. Koa gets very angry with Mills and refuses to get into the escape pod because Mills lied to her. Mills gets her emotional by telling her the story of his daughter Neville just as meteorites start falling to Earth one by one. They quickly climbed into the escape pod. Then, just as they were about to start the engine, two large dinosaurs approached. Mills knows that if he stays here with Koa, the two dinosaurs will kill them both. So Mills runs away from the escape pod to distract the dinosaurs. Koa then plays Nevine's hologram video. Mills kills the dinosaur with his gun when a dinosaur comes to eat the hologram picture, thinking it's a human. Then when he tries to kill the second dinosaur, his gun's battery is low and the gun won't reload, so he runs for his life. At this time we see a miracle scene. This time all the volcanoes start to erupt one by one, and meteorites fall to the ground one by one from above. He did not understand how he would save himself from the dinosaurs. At that time an idea came to his mind. He runs towards an erupting volcano. And just as the dinosaur is about to eat the Mills, the volcano erupts on him, but the skin of the dinosaur was so thick that it did not have to harm its body. The upside-down dinosaur gets extra angry and proceeds to eat the Mills. Mills had nowhere else to go. Just then the Koa comes and sticks a stick in the dinosaur's eye. The dinosaur writhes in pain and falls on a much larger volcano. And at that time the volcano erupted and a large amount of lava and acid stuck to his body. As a result, the dinosaur died there. Then Mills and Koa quickly come to the escape pod and give the location of the world to the escape pod. And before the asteroid crashes on Earth, they take off from there, and this is where the movie ends. If you liked the video, give a like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.